Hi, Taurus. Get settled in. We're here for your 2019 reading. I'm starting to lose my voice, of course, because what else, right? Quick announcements before we get all settled in. I'm like super cozy. I found these like awesome unicorn slipper socks today, and I got my blankie on my lap, got my tea. I just wanted to get really comfortable for your reading for 2019 because I feel like you need it to just be relaxed and chill. So I am sitting in your comfortable energy right now and loving every minute of it because it's just warm. Like, you guys are just warm and cozy. Even if you feel like you're kind of a mess right now, you might be, or you're getting into the holiday spirit and you're feeling warm and cozy, which would be awesome. A couple of announcements. If you're watching this in December of 2018, I do have holiday specials on my website, fearlessintuition.net. I'm not sure if I'm going to have them go past Christmas Day, but they might go until December 31st. At any rate, all of the readings that are purchased now will be scheduled in January, but I wanted to make sure that everybody got that holiday special. And if you're a first-time long-distance Reiki client, 20% off for first-time clients. For long-distance sessions, email me. All of that information is in the description box below. So for your, and I'm using a new computer. Well, it's a computer that I'm borrowing while mine gets fixed, because we all know the issues I was having before. So if the sound is a little off, if it like freezes in the middle of something, it'll start back up again. Like, it's been doing some weird things also. Just bear with me, and I appreciate your patience. It's so much better than what it was, though. So hopefully the sound's not like reverbing back to you, and it's loud enough. Me and technology repel each other. Okay, 2019. If you want the extended will be July through December. There are two different options. You can go to my website, fearlessintuition.net, and get July through December, or you can go to Vimeo. Both of those links are below in the description box. So what we're going to do, I have major arcanas from one deck, and we'll get an overlying energy for each month of 2019. Now, remember that the energy is fluid, time isn't linear. If you've already been through this, because there was actually somebody who commented on the Aries video that's like, I feel like I went through this in 2018. If you've already been through it, you might be repeating a cycle. Keep that in mind as you're watching this. And if you're repeating a cycle, there's something that needs to close out because it's karmic. So make sure that you are releasing in December. Make sure you're not doing the same thing. Even if like there are small things that are different about your life, if you're holding on to people, places, jobs, pick an element. If you're holding on to stuff, let it go. Let it go, Taurus. Let it go. Because that's the only way we're going to get to move forward, right? One more shuffle. All right, that's good. So January, we have the Lovers. February is the Tower. Look at that. Interesting mix. March is the High Priestess. I felt like some of you rolled your eyes when the Tower came out. I felt like some of you rolled your eyes. We're going to take this nice and slow, get all the information that we need. So April, we have Strength. May, we have the Emperor. And June, we have the Moon. Okay. So I'm still also dealing with my eye infection. So thank you for all of your patience with everything. Taurus, let me get comfortable. Gotta get comfortable. This is big stuff. It feels really big. Okay. So either you're dealing with a Gemini or a really, really strong connection in January. Also, I'm going to pick all the cards for the second half of the year when we get done with this, so you guys can kind of see what's coming in the extended to see if you want to get it. The Aries extended was amazing, and it's like, so just because the cards come out and you're not really sure about it, You might want to, I'm just saying, you might want to get the extended. I didn't do that last year. I didn't do the second half of the year last year. So that's a new thing. And these videos are like 30 to 45 minutes long, so, or up to 30 minutes, depending on how heavy the message is. All right, Taurus. The Lovers, January. So you could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This could be you. A lot of times the King or Queen of Cups comes out with Taurus for me when you guys are really in your feels. And I feel like, and the Lovers card also talks about making choices and possibly making choices in relationships. So we have the Two of Pentacles and the King of Cups. You could be trying to make a decision about a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Doesn't have to be a Sun water sign. But when you are, or you're trying to balance out a relationship with your work life, however that resonates with you, don't vacillate on things for too long. Sometimes that's how we get ourselves in a stuck state of mind. And with the Tower coming up in February, I feel like there's a decision that has to be made. Like, regardless of how you're feeling about it, if you don't make the decision and clear it out, the universe will come along. And sometimes people would rather the universe come along and do it. But I got to tell you, when you don't make the decision yourself and you let the universe decide for you, whether you want it or not in your life, or whether it's supposed to be there in your life or not, the Tower can be a lot more uncomfortable than you want it to be. The reason why you have to make this decision, I feel like, is because you're not fulfilled. The Page of Cups, it's like you want more out of life. And then we have the Nine of Swords. And this decision time is giving you a lot of anxiety. And I can understand that. And if you are, yep, there we go. See, what did I say? It's so funny when the cards like say exactly what I said. You're vacillating on this. And there's that Tower. And the Tower moment could be an uncomfortable discussion. It could be just like uncomfortable moments that happen. I've been telling people I've had Tower moments starting in November where I got sick, and then people in my family got sick, and then my computer finally broke, and like leading up into December, and then I got the eye infection, and then my son got sick, and just like Tower after. So it doesn't have to be huge things, but they're really inconvenient, but it's course correction. The Tower comes along because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, you're not on your soul's, not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not on your soul's mission. You're not on the path where your soul wants you to go. And your soul is calling you to make a decision, either about a King of Cups or possibly an air sign. Could be, this King of Cups could be a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Let's see who this King of Cups is for Taurus in January. Yeah. The Ace of Cups. And this, again, could really be you. If you have water in your chart or prominent water placements, this could be happening because you're finally recognizing that you deserve more. Because the Ace of Cups for me is self-love. It's filling up your own cup before you fill up other people's cups. It's the recognition, and you could be really, really in your feels right now because you're like, man, I've been accepting the Page of Cups, which is not a lot, and really I need to be accepting the Ace of Cups. Now, if you have to make a decision on, because you're madly in love with somebody else who has strong water placements in their chart or is a water sun sign, that decision needs to be made, and it looks like the universe is going to help you out with that. Now, if you're a person that likes that, okay. But I feel like you're the one that's kind of in your feels. I feel like the King of Cups is you, and it can be a female also. It can be a female Taurus. It doesn't have to be a male Taurus, but general reading, remember, this is going to balance things out for you. It could also be a Libra in your life, but the anxiety, and one of the reasons why the Tower has to come along is because of the anxiety. And you keep on lying to yourself in some way. So we have Justice on the Page of Cups. And whatever decision that really you are vacillating on, and the universe is coming in to correct that for you and kind of make the decision for you. Hate to say it. I love you guys so much, and I'm not throwing shade at you, but I know that there are some Taurians out there that have either been waiting for a relationship to show up in their life, or have been trying to decide on what to do within a relationship, right? But this is going to balance things out. Like I said, it's course correction. There was like this blip that just happened. So weird. So weird. Oh, and then we have the Five of Swords, the Nine of Swords. So I feel the Five of Swords for me is self-deception. Yes, you could feel deceived by somebody else, and that's put you in a state of anxiety, but you don't want to fight it anymore. And that's the thing, is when we get to that Nine of Swords stage, it's like all consuming in your mind. You can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't think of anything except for what you have to do. Or now that the Towers come in and it's making the decision for you, you can't sleep because now all of these things are kind of tumbling around you, like everything is crumbling, right? So if you're kind of in the same, if you're in that situation, don't lie to yourself. Why? Don't be like, I know, and this could also have to do with the Lovers card, is you tapping into your emotions or tapping into your divine masculine side and equalizing that divine masculine, divine feminine within you, right? That the Lovers does represent that as well. Getting that equal dose of the divine masculine and the divine feminine within you. And it's all about being truly, truly honest with where you are, and is it serving you? Is this serving you? And so the Tower probably starts at the beginning of January and rolls into February. I don't want you to be afraid of that. I don't want you to be afraid of that, because I feel like the Tower is bringing something really good behind it. I feel like the Tower is bringing you a lot, like it's almost like that full awakening process finally happened, or that it's like the Tower's like that aha moment. It's just something really swift that's coming in. So the Six of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, if this is the past coming back to you, I feel like it's humbling. It's almost a humbling experience. The Page of Pentacles is kind of a new beginning, a new start. You could be learning a lot about yourself because of your past, or maybe past life regressions or something like that. But it's bringing a chance of completion and prosperity. Now, the Ten of Pentacles, so here's the thing. With the Ten of Pentacles, prosperity can look different in the eyes of, to different people, right? The Ten of Pentacles to one person could be like, I got all my bills paid and it made me feel really, really good, and I feel abundant because I got my bills paid. To another person, it could be, I've got $10 in my pocket after I paid my bills and I feel really, really good. To another person, it could be, I just won the lottery. Whatever, everybody's going to feel prosperous if they won the lottery, but even money can be evil depending on how you use it. Yeah. So I feel like this Tower moment is bringing you a new start. It's a very humbling experience. It's making you realize that the Ten of Pentacles may not be all it's cracked up to be, or may not be exactly the way you thought it was going to look. That it could be that this Ten of Pentacles is, because you guys are creatures of comfort. That's why I really wanted to be comfortable for your reading today. I feel like you need to have the comfort. You guys are creatures of comfort. And the Ten of Pentacles, if the outside looks really, really pretty and the inside's a big old mess, you're not going to feel prosperous. It's like, sure, that looks really pretty and glittering on the outside. And I feel like that's what the Tower is trying to show you. It's trying to illuminate to you all of the things that you once thought the Ten of Pentacles represented to you. Oh, there were 2 cards that flew out. And now it's time to recognize within yourself what the Ten of Pentacles really means and how it actually feels, not just what it looks like. So the Knight of Wands on the Four of Swords, I want you to rest during this time. Don't force yourself to overdo it. Yes, you want to get to the Ten of Pentacles. I almost feel like you don't even need to try to get there. Uranus is still doing that zigzag motion, right? It is going to go direct, I believe, in Aries in either the end of February, beginning of March. I'm not 100% sure about that. But yeah, I wanted to do like a lot of research in astrology and stuff for these readings, but because of everything that happened, I just didn't have time. So we're just doing it super intuitively. So forgive me for not knowing that. The Knight of Wands for me, it's like you want to take really fast action on something, or again, you're kind of like going back and forth, like this tower kind of shocked you and you're going back and forth on what do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? And the Four of Swords is saying, just get quiet, get into your comfort zone, be a creature of comfort, and meditate. Allow yourself to get really super centered on what it is that you want to allow in your life. Instead of what you have been allowing, the Tower is saying what you have been allowing in your life is no longer there. And it's time to allow new things in your life. So if you're dealing with a Capricorn from the past, that may be who the Page of Pentacles is, and they want to offer you a new beginning. If you're not dealing with a Capricorn in your past, I feel like there's a lot of karmic. This Tower has a lot of karma behind it, from past lives, from just your past, whatever. And if it's being resolved, it is being resolved. Like, just know that it is being resolved. But it's no longer happening in Taurus time. It's happening in divine timing. And divine timing, nobody really likes divine timing, especially a fixed sign. But if you're feeling really diminished because of the Tower, look, the Tower's at the bottom of the deck too. Shoosh. Gosh, you guys, the beginning of your, like, January and February, I almost feel like you're hiding under the covers now. And you're like, oh my God, Betsy. I was almost avoiding doing your reading. Like, I wanted to jump over it. And I'm like, no, I can't do that to my Taurians. And it's not bad, though. That's the thing. This is not bad. It's just you want things to happen in the time that you want them to happen. And so with a Taurus, if you want it to happen slowly and you're trying to take the much needed steps forward to do it, that's fine. But if you take too long, the Tower. But with a Taurus who's like ready to get up and get going and move everything and, you know, is welcoming the energy of fast movement, but you're still not doing it right because you're skipping the steps, the Tower, right? So you could be one of two different teams. Team Taurus. But you fought the good fight. And now you're like, I can't anymore. I can't do it anymore. I can't keep fighting what's no longer working for me. And the Tower is illuminating that for you. What's no longer working for you. So be receptive to it. Be receptive to it. And know that there's goodness and comfort beyond the Tower. It's not, you know, this could really just be a fleeting moment. And it could be a fleeting moment. I actually feel like if you try to hide from this energy, try to hide from all the Towers that you're feeling in January and February of 2000. Yeah, see, the King of Cups is here again, water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or you, if you have prominent water placements in your chart, or you're just super emotional right now, which is fine. That's okay. But And it has to do with family. It has to do with your security. It has to do with your prosperity in life and your money. And it's like, maybe things do look really good on the outside and you're just kind of falling apart on the inside, and that's what the Tower is. Whatever it is, it's all karmic. And we have 2 eclipses in January. And so that could really be bringing up all of this stuff, like during Capricorn season and during Aquarius season. So let's see what the 4 of Swords, because I feel like part of you want to keep on moving through this energy, and the other part of you is just like, I'm just going to sit still and wait for the waves to stop, rocking the boat. I'm going to sit still and wait for the sun to come out again. And that either way is fine. Just don't sit there for too long, right? Don't sit there for too long. Excuse me. Because I feel like you're going to need to make a decision. Oh, there we go. Now the Queen of Cups is here. So there's definitely a water sign or somebody, like I even see the Queen of Cups as just somebody who's like super intuitive. And you could be getting advice from somebody who's really intuitive as well. But we also have the King of Swords and the Queen of Cups on the Knight of Wands, because I feel like you don't know what to do. The Knight of Wands and the 4 of Swords, right? I feel like you don't know what to do. So you could be seeking advice from somebody here and being like, like it's okay to ask for help. If you have good people around you, and I'm only laughing because earth signs have a really hard time asking for help. I mean, y'all know I'm a Virgo. And we like to make it look like we are put together on the outside. If things are falling apart around us or inside, we like to make it look like we're really good on the outside. So I've learned not to do that. Like y'all know, I can be a hot mess sometimes. So this is, it's time to let go of your pride and recognize that all the lessons that you're learning right now are for the betterment of your future, or for the betterment of your prosperity. You may be super emotional, but I feel like you fought the good fight, and you don't have to keep fighting things. Like, stop hitting your head up against a brick wall. You're not going to make the brick wall move if you hit your head up against it. You're going to end up with a concussion. Am I right? So, just allow it. Allow it to happen. Allow it to go. We have the High Priestess for March. So, I feel like Taurus is making plans and staying quiet in March. I feel like there are things that Taurus is recognizing they need to do because of the Towers. And now they're in planning mode, especially if you're the Taurus that's in the 4 of Swords. You're really getting quiet. You're allowing your intuition to come in. And I think that whatever advice you did seek out, you know that that person is right, and you're having to be honest with yourself. So we have a King of Swords. So you could really be dealing with a Gemini, because we've had the King of Swords here, and we have the Page of Swords. Or you could have heavy air placements. But this is all about discernment. The King of Swords also represents legality. So if you have to make a decision when it comes to legal stuff, that's coming up in March. But use your discernment. The High Priestess, ooh, lots of swords. You guys are in your head. So the Tower really, really got you in your head. So I want to say, don't get into your ego so much. Use your intuition. That's exactly what this is saying. Yeah, because the High Priestess represents your intuition, right? And all of these swords energies, the Ace of Swords, and then we have you, the King of Pentacles. So you could be dealing with an air sign, or being up in your head and needing to make a decision and being honest with yourself about that decision. And if you if you get up in your head about it and you're letting your ego get involved and you're like, I can't do this, this is too hard, or this is this, or this is, or whatever, whatever lies you're telling yourself, because we do that. again, not throwing shade at you, we all do it. We all tell ourselves lies all the time. If you're, you know, the Page of Swords is like, be honest with yourself. The Ace of Swords is be honest with yourself. You are not diminished. Whoever has made you feel diminished, or if you've made yourself feel diminished, or whatever happened in your life made you feel diminished, you're actually the King of Pentacles. You're coming out in a really good way, you know? So let's see. King of Swords. Let your intuition guide you through this. Yeah, this could be the Nine of Cups on the King of Swords. Honestly, like, make a decision on what it is that you want. What have you been manifesting? What is it that you're wishing for? What is it that you want in your life, and how are you not getting it? How are you not allowing yourself to get it? And the Page of Swords. What seeds have you planted, and where do you need to trim the fat? Seven of Pentacles on the Page of Swords. Because you have planted the seeds and you're waiting. You're waiting to reap it's like you're reaping what you've sown. But I almost feel like it's coming out in a good way, because you're ending up as the King of Pentacles. It's like, now that all of that karma has balanced out, now that everything has kind of come out into the open, now that it's almost like this weight has lifted off your shoulders, and the bounty of the harvest is just there for the taking. Really, really trust your instincts right now, Taurus. In March, really trust your instincts, because, so the Hierophant on you, man, it's like you came out of those tower moments in January and February on top of the world, because you used your discernment and you realized the things that aren't serving you anymore, and you cut that out. It's like, it's almost like, I feel like there's like pruning that happened in January and February. And that, I feel like the Page of Swords like is literally pruning the Seven of Pentacles so that the harvest can be really thick and like almost overgrown in a way. You know, you prune it to make it grow, you know what I mean? If you're not I don't even have a green thumb, and even I know that. So, yeah, and also your place in society. You know, the Hierophant represents you, but it also represents the institution, it represents the government, it represents higher learning. So where are you seeing yourself in societal standards? Is it the truth? Is it your truth, or is it somebody else's truth? Oh, this King of Pentacles is a Virgo. Look at that. Doesn't have to be a king, could be a queen, remember? But if this is a Virgo, I think that you're getting honest with yourself on, this seems to be like where this person also represents you in society. Also, if this isn't a Virgo, it kind of looks like it is, but if it isn't a Virgo, again, you're getting quiet. The High Priestess and the Virgo, like the High Priestess is like the female version of the Hermit, basically. They're both very wise teachers. They go to the top of the mountain with not a lot of knowledge, not a lot of light. They go up in the dark. They get all their information from source, and they bring it back down to the people, and they give it. It's the wise teacher. But it's internal. It's not like you're not looking to the outside for answers. You're looking within for answers. And I feel like that's what Taurus is doing, because you're recognizing where you need to prune your life. You're recognizing, you're discerning what it is I truly want in my life, where I've been giving of myself too much, and where I need to give back to myself, and where I belong. Where do I truly belong? That's deep. That's really deep. But it's giving you a lot of inner strength too. Okay? Because as we go along here, we have strength. In April, you could be dealing with a Leo, or April. Really working on that inner strength, Taurus. Because you do give so much of yourself to other people, and you've been lacking. You have this sense of lack mentality. Because now you've pruned your life, you've pruned people in your life, whether it is an air sign, a water sign, or an earth sign in your life. You're recognizing who keeps you put out in the cold and who's actually there for you and who's always been there for you. And that lack mentality, we allow other people to put us in a lack mentality. That word allow is a really big lesson for me this year. When you allow somebody to have control over your emotions and feelings, you are putting yourself in a place of lack. When you have control over your own emotions and your own feelings, you're abundant. You're the Ace of Cups. You're the Empress. You're the Queen or King of Pentacles, right? And the Three of Cups. So again, I feel like this inner strength, you're recognizing who consistently keeps putting you out and who your soul group is, right? The Three of Cups for me is all about union. It's about celebration. It's about getting together. It's about having your soul group. And I think that you're really recognizing that. And again, it could be a Leo, also Sagittarius or Aries. But, so we have the Knight of Swords, oh my God, the Knight of Wands and the World. Brand new cycle emerging after kind of a tumultuous first 3 months. Not even all 3 months. And I don't even feel like it's tumultuous. I just feel like this is, 2019, it seems like everybody's doing some internal work in 2019. It's like 2018 was all about getting rid of all of the BS. Whoa. Really liked that. Okay. So, if you have a Scorpio in your life that puts you out in the cold or makes you feel like you're lacking in some way, I feel like you're gaining the inner strength to recognize that this person isn't good for you anymore. Doesn't have to be a Scorpio. This could also be just you recognizing, like rising from the ashes. The phoenix rising from the ashes, that's what Scorpio represents. That's what the death card represents. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's not about dying or anything like that. But things in our life have to transform. They have to die to be reborn. And relationships, and I don't just mean romantic, I mean the soulmate kind where you can talk on the phone for hours with your best friend or whatever. I feel like there are, sorry, that one was over there. The Knight of Cups on the Three of Cups. I feel like there are people that are approaching you and they're like, hey man, it's time for you to join the crew. Like, stop allowing, there's that word again. Stop allowing people to keep coming in and out of your life and making you feel like you're less than who you truly are. Right? So there's like a genuine offer. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be platonic friendship. But it's really building your inner strength up. And then we have, again, the King of Cups on the Knight of Wands. So this person is fleeting. I feel like this is the person that was your Tower moment. This King of Cups. It's fleeting. It's a fleeting energy. Or it's you again. In and out, in and out, in and out. Fleeting energy. But this cycle of you allowing other people to keep you at bay or make you feel like you're less than who you are, it needs to end. And I feel like the way that it does end is you creating healthy boundaries. 7 of Wands on the world. And it doesn't even have to be in the physical. It doesn't have to be like boundaries in the physical. It could be boundaries energetically. Like you're no longer going to allow people to just be like, no, I'll be your friend for a week and then I'm going to run away or whatever, however that works for you. The cycle ending is you standing up for yourself, finding your voice, saying, I'm no longer going to put up with being put out in the cold. That's what the inner strength is all about. That's what the strength card is all about. You know, it's a lifting up of energy. May, the Emperor, I told you it was going to be heavy. I hope you like I might need a nap after this. I don't know. The Emperor. Let's see what the Emperor is for May. So basically gaining control. I feel like you guys have gained a little bit of control. You could also be dealing with an Aries, but if you're dealing with an Aries, then you're walking away from them. 8 of Cups, Ace of Swords, and the Chariot. I think this is recognizing where your soul mission is, and you're going that way. The 8 of Cups for me is a journey of self-discovery, and I think you're gaining a lot of clarity in this journey. I think that you're actually recognizing, oh wow, this is where the universe is pushing me. This is the path that I'm supposed to be going, and it's again like an aha moment, but in a nicer way than the Tower, right? The Ace of Swords. You know, as you go internal and you find all of this inner strength that you have and you start to really love yourself and recognize that you deserve better than what you've been allowing in your life, this Ace of Swords comes along and the Chariot's like, oh, yay, Taurus, take the reins, let's go, right? And the Chariot pushes you forward. It's destiny. It's victory. You could be dealing with a Cancer or, again, an Aries. But where is it leading you to? The 4 of Wands, which is stability, happiness, marriage, spiritual marriage. Doesn't have to be a physical marriage. But it's leading you to that life that feels right. It feels good. It's not just it doesn't just look good on the outside. It feels good on the inside. That's where the Chariot goes. The Chariot is taking a hold of your soul and leading you to your destiny. And it feels like you might have fought it for a little bit, or you didn't recognize the signs, or whenever the signs came along, you were like, no, I'm not ready. And it's all fine. I mean, what you're doing is not wrong, but the universe is going to get you back on course when you have to. And yeah, so we have the Hierophant on the 8 of Cups. So if this is, this has to deal with society again, societal norms. It could be dealing, because, you know, the Hierophant speaks of the institution of marriage or government or some, you know, higher learning. You're recognizing where you actually belong and that it may not be a subscribed belief system of where you were. You know, you believed that this is the way your life had to be for so long. This is the way it had to look. This is the way it had to go. And the clarity that the Ace of Swords brings is like, just because I'm different than what everybody else wanted me to be, or just because things look different than, say, what somebody else wants me, you know, how somebody else wants me to look, it doesn't mean that I'm wrong. It actually means that I'm going the direction I'm supposed to be going, right? And I think that it's becoming clear to you that some of the offers that you've received in your life, or some of the offers that you've received in your existence or something like that, just weren't good enough. Or maybe you became apathetic. Apathy can really put a person in a bad place. You know, when you just don't care anymore. And I think that it's becoming really clear that where you were is no longer where you want to be. And as you grow and as you gain that inner strength, the Chariot guides you. And the Four of Cups apathy, it's not fun. But, I mean, I've been there. I had to recognize, you know, I've been married and divorced twice, and a lot of times you do just kind of become apathetic in the place that you are. And then once you release yourself from that, and I'm not saying that you have to be married for that to happen, but like anywhere in your life, if you're really allowing yourself to just be, whether you're happy or not, you're just there. You exist physically, but where's your soul, right? Again, the Nine of Wands on the Chariot, you have been fighting the good fight, and you've been persevering, and you've been pushing through, and you've been doing everything that you feel like you're supposed to be doing according to societal norms. Because that's what Taurians do. You do what you're supposed to do. Virgos do the same thing. Capricorns do the same thing. We do what we're supposed to do. We don't stray from the norm unless your soul says, halt. You will be straying from the norm because there's so much more out there for you. And you've been fighting against the Chariot and you've been fighting for the Chariot at the same time. And that might be part of the decision that you have to make. So, Four of Wands. What is the Four of Wands in May? Okay, so again, making the decision and being very discerning, and it could be with an air sign. The King of Swords. Sometimes I see also this as legal stuff. So there could be legal things surrounding your family or something like that. But more than anything, I feel like this is a decision that you're having to make logically, in a discerning way, maybe with no emotions attached, in order for you to get to, because you became apathetic in a situation. Pick an element. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be in a job. It could be where you're living. It doesn't, you know, whatever. However that resonates with you. But you're no longer allowing other people to define who you are. I like that. I like it. You're standing for yourself. You're being the emperor, right? You're being the emperor. And then we have the moon for June. So this is also about being honest with yourself, but this is also about, you know, what feelings do you have? What feelings are you keeping deep down within, and you're not revealing them, and you need to be a little bit more open. Sorry. You need to open up a little bit more. Yeah, Three of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so what you're keeping inside is where you want to go, what direction you want to go in, who you want to work with. The Three of Pentacles is a lot about entrepreneurship. It's about starting new things. The Three of Wands is about waiting for the stuff to show up, but are you waiting for stuff to show? Are you just like sitting still and waiting for stuff to show up? Like, this is where I feel like you need to be honest with yourself. You've created the boundaries, the healthy boundaries, Seven of Wands, but what are you still holding on to? The Four of Pentacles. A lot of times when we hold on to things, that's when the Tower shows up, so you don't want to do that, right? This is also speaking to your stability. And I feel like you're not really opening up to other people about plans that you're making, about things that you want to do in your future, about the rebuilding that you want to do. You know, I feel like the first half of the year in 2019 is rebuilding after kind of a breakdown of a structure. And again, it doesn't have to do with family, but if you're sitting here patiently waiting and you're not acting on what you want to do, it's not just going to like knock on your, like it's not Ed McMahon. It's not going to knock on your door with a big old check unless you're playing the Publishers Clearinghouse, but Ed McMahon won't show up because he doesn't exist physically anymore. But the Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Wands are the same thing. You're waiting for your harvest. You're waiting for your ships to come in. You've already done the pruning and now you're waiting for things to grow. And I feel like the waiting or the stagnancy or this just kind of sitting there might be killing your harvest a little bit. Like you gotta water it. You have to do things to help the harvest along. You can't just like sit there and wait, right? There's the moon again. But I don't even think you know where you're going just yet. Jude might be really wanting to pick up the pieces and keep everybody back while you're doing it. Which is fine, but I kind of feel like you need some assistance or some help in some way. Like don't forget that shutting people out, like I don't want you to shut people out, right? So we have the Six of Cups on the Seven of Wands. So you are kind of trying to keep like whatever past that was not serving you, you're trying to keep it at bay. You are really setting up your boundaries big time. And that's fine. Healthy boundaries are good. But don't hold on to the present, right? Don't live in the past, but don't hold on to the present because you want the future. So let's see what the Four of Pentacles is. Yeah. And I think that right now, the reason why you're being so secretive or you're not really talking about it is, one, you're trying to figure out where you're going or where the chariot is taking you. Two, I think you're trying to decide, like, I mean, you're just trying to decide. Two of Pentacles on the Four of Pentacles. You're trying to decide what's going to balance your life out. What's my next move? Where do I go from here? How do I get things done? And that's okay. But don't block out, because I feel like there are some people that really want to help you and you're not opening up to them. Like you're really not opening up to them. And I feel like they are good soulmate type people that either you've known for a very long time or you just feel like, yep, that person I've known forever. I've known them in a past life. It's okay to stay quiet for a little while, but don't do it forever, Taurus. Don't do it forever. Okay, so let's pick the cards for the second half of the year, July through December. And if you want the extended, you can get it either on Vimeo or go to my website. Both of those links are below. And it will be posted like simultaneously with this video, okay? So we have the Sun for July, so healing, prosperity, abundance. The Devil for August, or the shadow side in this deck. And then we have the Death card for September. The Wheel of Fortune for October. The Hanged Man for November. Every single time you guys get the Wheel of Fortune in your life, it makes you stuck because you're like, oh my God, too good to be true. I got to stay still. And then December, you have the Hermit. So, a lot of internal work is happening within you, Taurus. I feel like your environment is kind of pushing this internal work to happen. And whether you're losing people in your life, whether people are leaving or you're removing them, doesn't matter. But I also feel like there's going to be a huge transformation, a huge transition for you. Ah, I lost it. There we are. Sorry. I knew that was going to happen eventually. I felt it. And right when I said transformation, it cut off. Oh, all right. Anyway, things turn around, Taurus. Things turn around. And you don't have to wait the entire year for them to turn around. Like I said, time isn't linear. Oh, keeps pausing again. Seriously, like now the energy, now you guys are like, okay, I'm done with this reading already. I'm just, I say get the extended, honestly, get the extended, because I feel like this is going to turn out much better than you guys think they are. Earth signs, we can be so pessimistic sometimes. I love you. Bye.